I guess I didn't think that bees not needing to make honey would affect all these other things.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're looking at the most terrible and baffling choices adults made in animated films. We'll exclude movies created for older audiences and include spoilers. Number 10. Syndrome leaves the supers alive. The Incredibles. The supervillain Syndrome comes up with a brilliant plan to make himself look like a hero by publicly defeating one of his evil Omnidroids.
And now I have a weapon that only I can defeat. And when I unleash it, I'll get... You sly dog! You got me monologuing!
He usually tests out his creations by having them fight and kill heroes like Mr. Incredible. But after an Omnidroid defeats the Super, Syndrome leaves his foe alive. The supervillain makes the problem even worse by capturing the rest of Mr. Incredible's family too.
You killed off real heroes so that you could pretend to be one?
Oh, I'm real. Real enough to defeat you!
As soon as the heroes get a chance, they escape and thwart his evil plan. Syndrome's defeat could have been avoided had he just taken that extra step to eliminate his foe. Letting Mr. Incredible live was just about as bad a decision as wearing a cape.
Oh, no.
Number 9. Eleanor burns Merida's bow. Brave. Over the years, several animated parents have destroyed their kids' belongings in a misguided attempt to make a point. Triton blasted his daughter Ariel's treasures to bits to keep her away from the dangers of humanity.
If this is the only way, so be it.
While that decision was bad, Queen Eleanor's choice in Brave was arguably worse. After her daughter Merida disrupts a traditional courting ceremony, the two get into a heated argument. The queen ends the fight by throwing her child's beloved bow into a fire.
You are a princess, and I expect you to act like one.
This rash decision sets off a series of events that result in Eleanor being magically turned into a bear. If the queen had just used her words, her animal transformation would have never happened.
It's not my fault. I didn't ask her to change you into a bear. I just wanted her to change you.
Number 8. A couple eats without asking. Spirited Away. After Chihiro and her parents stumble upon a seemingly abandoned village, they discover heaps of delicious food.
Ah, look at this.
Hello in there. Does anybody work here?
Come in, Chihiro. It looks delicious.
It's already suspicious that there's not a soul in sight, but the fact that the food was steaming hot without any human supervision should have been a major red flag. Although Chihiro tries to discourage her parents from eating, they blissfully chow down.
Oh, it's delicious. Chihiro, you have to taste this.
I don't want any. We're gonna get in trouble. Let's just get out of here.
Don't worry.
A few scenes later, it's revealed that the food has transformed her parents into pigs. Chihiro has to do a ton of work to get her parents back to human form. What makes this entire situation worse is that the adults don't have any memory of their big change. By the end of the film, the parents haven't learned a single lesson.
You shouldn't run off like that, honey.
You could get in big trouble.
Are you guys sure you're all right?
Number 7. Mother Gothel stays close to the kingdom. Tangled. Once this twisted villain discovered that Princess Rapunzel had healing powers, the antagonist took the child from a castle.
Gothel had found her new magic flower, but this time, she was determined to keep it hidden.
Mother Gothel spent the next 18 years raising the royal in an isolated tower. While keeping Rapunzel away from people was smart, making the princess live so near the kingdom was a bad move.
Well, tomorrow evening, they will light the night sky with these lanterns. You will act as my guide.
The royal is driven to explore the world because she's close enough to see the lanterns that the king and queen let loose once a year. To make matters worse, Mother Gothel later revealed that she could have settled somewhere else.
We are going where no one will ever find you again.
We definitely don't support her evil plans for Rapunzel. However, we can't help but acknowledge the obvious flaw in her big scheme. Number 6, Shrek doesn't ask for details. Shrek Forever After.
So what day would I have to give up?
Oh, I don't know, any day. A day from your past. How about the day you had the flu? A day you lost a pet? A day some meddling oaf stuck his big nose where it didn't belong, destroying your business, ruining your life!
Even ogres aren't immune from existential crises. After Shrek starts a family and gets into a daily routine, he begins to long for the freedom of his old life. He eventually gets a chance to have a carefree day when he meets the shady Rumpelstiltskin. Shrek's new ally promises to give the hero 24 hours of freedom. In exchange, the ogre must give up a day from his past.
What about a day you wouldn't even remember? Like a day when you were a baby. An innocent, mindless little baby.
Take any of those days you want. Take them all for all I care.
Since Shrek glazes over the details, Rumpelstiltskin is able to take the day the hero was born. This act erases Shrek from existence. The ogre's one job was to sacrifice an inconsequential day between his birth and the present time. Unfortunately for Shrek, his lazy approach to this deal nearly led to his total annihilation.
You took the day I was born. No, Shrek.
You gave it to me.
Number 5. Royals keep Elsa isolated, frozen. When Princess Elsa was a child, she unintentionally hurt her sister Anna with an icy blast. Although a troll king is able to nurse the girl back to health, he makes the entire situation a lot worse.
She will be okay.
But she won't remember I have powers?
It's for the best. Listen to me, Elsa. Your power will only grow.
The magical being shows the king and queen a frightening vision of Elsa's powers. As a result, they decide to isolate the princess from the entire world.
We'll reduce the staff. We will limit her contact with people and keep her powers hidden from everyone, including Anna.
The choice to keep Elsa away from others causes her to get into the habit of suppressing her emotions. And when her feelings boil over, she unintentionally traps her kingdom in a harsh winter. Elsa wouldn't have had to deal with a ton of heartache and snow if her parents didn't listen to trolls.
You kind of set off an eternal winter everywhere.
Everywhere.
Well, it's okay, you can just unfreeze it. No, I can't. I don't know how.
Number 4. Maui steals the heart of Teiti, Moana. One demigod's bad decision caused both humans and divine beings to suffer. At the beginning of Moana, Maui chooses to steal the heart of the nature goddess Teiti. Shortly after committing this offense, he's attacked by a volcanic creature and loses the valuable item he stole.
And his magical fishhook and the heart of Teiti were lost to the sea.
Maui's theft of the heart also has negative effects on the vegetation and wildlife of multiple islands. The demigod insists that he went through with his theft to benefit humanity.
It almost sounded like you don't like me, which is impossible because I got stuck here for 1,000 years trying to get the heart as a gift for you mortals so you can have the power to create life itself.
However, Maui should have known that stealing the heart of a nature goddess would have serious consequences. But not even a 1,000-year punishment is enough to convince the demigod he was wrong. It's not until Maui travels with the human Moana that he sees how much damage he caused.
We're only here because you stole the heart in the first place.
Now we're here because the ocean told you you're special and you believed it.
Number 3. Goob trusts an evil robot. Meet the Robinsons.
Then, just as I was on the brink of destroying Robinson Industries, I met her.
At a young age, Michael Yagoobian fell asleep during a pivotal moment in a baseball game because his genius roommate Lewis kept him up. The bitter ball player held onto that grudge until his adulthood. So, when a jilted robot Lewis designed becomes hungry for revenge, Yagoobian teams up with the mechanical menace, no questions asked. It's ridiculously obvious that the robotic Doris is evil as soon as it tells his backstory.
But Doris knew she was capable of so much more. However, you didn't see her true potential.
Despite that fact, Yagoobian helps the mechanical menace steal Lewis's time machine and changes history. In the new timeline, Doris rules over a terrifying and bleak world with an army of like-minded hats. The bad future is thankfully reversed, but Michael Yagoobian very nearly plunged the world into a permanent dystopia.
Doris, what's happening? I don't understand. I just wanted to ruin his future, not this.
Number 2, humans let the bees retire. Bee movie.
Then we want to get back all the honey that was ours to begin with. Every last drop.
Shortly after Barry B. Benton makes a compelling case in a court of law, government officials agree to return the honey back to the insects. This arrangement allows the bees to stop working, but this deal proves to be catastrophic. Since the bees had all the honey they needed, they stopped pollinating flowers. This led to, and we're not kidding, the death of nearly all flowers on Earth.
They're all wilting.
Doesn't look very good, does it?
No.
And whose fault do you think that is?
We're guessing that the humans in charge of this universe didn't check in with any scientists, beekeepers, or kids who took a science class when they made this deal. Any one of those groups could have pointed out that this deal would lead to global disaster.
So you take away the produce, that affects the entire animal kingdom, and then, of course...
The human species?
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1, Kingpin turns on the Collider. Again, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Mr. Fisk, if we fire again this week, there could be a black hole under Brooklyn. You see this? And this? This is multiple dimensions beginning to crash into each other.
A grieving supervillain named Kingpin tried to get back the family he lost by finding alternate versions of his wife and son in new dimensions. This task could only be achieved if he used a dangerous collider machine. During an early trial, multiple people warned him that the device could destroy Brooklyn, but Kingpin keeps going until an explosion stops him in his track. Even though the plan literally blew up in his face, the supervillain kept going.
It can't be worth the risk.
It's not always about the money, Spider-Man.
Kingpin even continued his second major collider trial as reality unraveled around him. If Miles Morales didn't swing in, the supervillain could have set off a chain reaction that destroyed the multiverse. It's safe to say that Kingpin is good at villainy and very bad at decision making.
Look behind you!
Which animated adult had the worst plan? Call them out in the comments down below.
Take these feelings and lock them away. Let them fuel your actions.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.